So we paused here last day. What I said to you was, if you give me some conversion factors and I look at how the units work and I set up fractions so that the units cancel and I only end up with the units that I want, I can really cut down on my memorization. I had somebody come to me yesterday and say, Mr. Duick, I do it a different way. As long as you get the right answer, Jan, I don't care how you do it. I get a little grumpy because every year I have some kids that don't follow my method and don't get the right answer at all. And like, well, I'm not going to change because, well, your method sucks. You're getting it wrong all the time. So if you're getting it wrong, do it my way. So here we go. How many centimeters in 1 mile? Anybody know how many centimeters are in 1 mile? No? Okay, because if you did, you'd be done. What's the first thing that I always do? Who remembers from yesterday? What did they give me? 1 mile. Why can't I use that as my abbrev for mile? That's meters. That's already taken. So the abbrev for mile is MI. I mentioned lately we don't have enough letters in the alphabet. We don't have enough letters in the alphabet. We kind of run out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by some kind of a conversion factor. Now, I gave you a bunch up here. What can I turn miles into? Feet? Okay. Where am I going to put miles in my fraction then if I want it to cancel? What am I going to put on the top? And what is the conversion factor? Apparently, oh, what a dumb system. I can't believe the U.S. has stuck with this. 5,820 feet is 1 mile. If you were in high school in the U.S., you'd be memorizing all these because they're just dumb conversion factors. Metric system, powers of 10. Easy. Now, if I stop there, that would be in feet. I want to end up in centimeters. Anybody know how many centimeters are in a foot? I know it's roughly 30, but I don't know if it's exactly 30. So let's keep going. What can I change feet into? Oh. And what can I change inches into? See the chain? We have enough information to go from miles to feet, from feet to inches, from inches to centimeters. And we can do it exactly. Where's feet going to go in my next fraction? On the... And I guess inches is going to go there. And I guess there's 12 inches in a foot. Again, what a dumb system. If I stopped here, that would be inches. Keep going. I want inches to cancel. Where am I going to put inches? Centimeters on the top, and apparently 2.54 centimeters is 1 inch. What do I do with numbers on the top? What about numbers that are on the bottom? Are there any? Oh, I ignore the ones, so I guess I'm not dividing by anything. But the nice thing is, again, Taryn, my argument here is this tells me what I do with the 5,820 and the 12 and the 2.54. I got to multiply them because that's one of the common questions. Am I going to multiply or divide? I don't know. Let the units tell you. So 5,820 times 12 times 2.54. Sorry? Did I make a typo? Do you get 177,393.6? Yeah? That's, I mean, technically I should only go to like maybe 2.6. I'm going to write the whole thing. 177,393.6. 177,393.6 units. Centimeters. I like number 10, I like number 10, I like number 10. Number 10 is a nice question. Why would I say something like that? Why would I say that I like a certain question? Oh boy, you're not very clever. When a teacher emphasizes certain things, what are they usually hinting at? No. What? Did you hear me say that? Or are you the kind of student that notices when a teacher tends to emphasize certain things? Well, good. I like this question, I like this question, I like this question. What do I mean by, why do I like this question? This is a 2-level fraction question. It says, What is 60 miles per hour in meters per second? Now, I don't like the way this is written. As a math nerd, slanty fractions to me are evil. They're evil. And if you write slanty fractions, I will break you of that habit if I can. We'll do it a couple of times for units, but never for numbers. So first of all, how am I going to start? Write down what they gave me. What did they give me? What did they give me?
60 miles.
I'm going to write it as a clear vertical fraction. I'm going to go 60 mi horizontal line h down there, so I can clearly see what's on the bottom and what's on the top. Slanty fractions make that way too difficult. I'm going to do two things, and you are going to have a double level fraction in your future. That's what I like about this question, a top and bottom unit level fraction in your future. It'll probably be metric because I can't stand the US system, but we'll see. What I'm going to do, Kate, is I'm going to convert miles to meters, and I'm also going to convert hours to, I'll do them individually. Doesn't matter which one I do first, Kate, pick. Okay, so let's do the miles first. Where is it going to go in my next fraction? How do you know? Because originally it was on the, okay. Do I know how many meters are in a mile? No. What can I change miles into? If I'm clever and really paying attention and look at previous work that I might have done, what else could I change miles into that would be much easier to get to meters? Really? Why don't I do that since it's sitting in front of me? So I'm going to say 1 mile is 177,393.6 centimeters. I need to extend my fraction bar, but if I stop there, this would be centimeters per hour. Now I want to get rid of centimeters, and I'd like to end up in meters. I think I can do that in one step. Where is centimeters going to go in my next fraction, Kate? Yes. What's going to go on top? What am I trying to end up in? I hear it loud and proud. Someone say it. Meters, right? Okay. Ooh, this is the metric thing from your green sheet. Centi is 10 to the what? You want your green sheet out, Dan, in front of you. Back page open. There's all the metric prefixes. Brea, can you kind of help? He's a little lost lamb, so he'll need a little help along the way. If you could just kind of shepherd him a little bit. Look at those eyes. Help me learn. Okay. Centi. 10 to the, where does the 10 to the negative 2 go? Where the centi isn't. I saw somebody do that. No, I don't memorize top or bottom. That's where the C is. The 10 to the negative 2 goes where the C isn't. If we stopped here, we would be meters per hour. We've got our distance unit, good. Let's take care of time. What can I change hours into? Where is hours right now originally on the? So to get it to cancel, where is it going to be in my conversion factor? Yes. And minutes on the bottom. I was hoping that you would remember how many seconds there are in an hour, because we did actually mention that. But since you're doing it the long way, we're committed. What's the conversion factor? 1 hour is how many minutes? Yes. If I stopped here, that would be meters per minute. What do I want? Meters per? Okay, I want to get rid of minutes. Can I change minutes into seconds? Oh, good. Then we're one step from being done. Where is minutes going to go in my conversion factor? Why on the top? Because this time originally it was on the bottom. Okay, I'm noticing a trend here. And seconds, and what is it? 1 minute is 60 seconds? Kate, what do I do with numbers that are on the top? What do I do with numbers that are on the bottom? I divide, and I ignore the ones. So here, hey folks, I'm going to show you a nice trick if you haven't figured it out already. Have I yelled at you about getting a good calculator? and you're all following along on your calculator, then you probably have this number here, 177,393.6, stored. I'm going to go 60 times my answer button. You all have an answer button. Usually it's right next to the equal sign, or shift right next to the equal sign, or shift equals, or alpha equals. Find your answer button. If you can't find it, now is the time to raise your hand, because we're going to use this an awful lot. It's less typing, it's less error, and it's more accurate. It's a triple win, which is about the only time we ever get that. Anybody not able to find their answer button? Okay, on the T, who's got the graphing calculator there? Shift negative, right? Second function negative. Okay, so 60 times answer times 10 to the power of negative 2 divided by 60 divided by 60. Did you find your answer button okay? Isn't it nice? And do we get, now, I have a bit of a trick. Because I've done physics for so long, I know that meters per second is roughly half of miles per hour. I bet you all got an answer close to 30. Probably a little bit less than 30, like 28, 29-ish. So I have a built-in error check in my back pocket that if I make a typo, I'll catch it. 29.6? Yeah. 29.565, you know what, let's go the whole thing. 29.5656. Units, we're not going to go work for Verizon. Meters per second. Convert 3,500 gallons to milliliters. Okay. Raj, any thoughts on what I'm going to do first? You're starting to see why I do it that way. It kind of gives you, it's almost like getting your first foot into the water and finding out the pool temperature is okay. It gives you that, I know where I'm going. So first thing I'm going to do is write down 3,500. I think the proper abbrev for gallons is G. Oh, by the way, why can't I use, come here, Mr. Duke. Why can't I use that as my abbrev for gallons? It's already grams. I mentioned we don't have enough letters. Raj, what can I change gallons into? I hope there's something in that chart up there. I hope. You should have a chart up, look up. You got to look at, no. In your notes, right above you, above number 10, there's a chart. Yes, with a whole bunch of imperial stuff. Sorry, quartz. Which one would I do? Looks like I can go from gallons to what? And then I can go from quarts to what? And then I can go from liters to milli. See the chain? Good. So I'm scrolling down. You're going to have to tell me the numbers. Where's gallons going to go, Raj? Yep. What's going to go on the top? I think the abbrev for quarts is a Q, but I don't know because I'm Canadian. What's the conversion factor? How many quarts is how many gallons? Sorry? Is that so and so many quarts is so and so many gallons? I don't know where that goes. 0.25, so it goes on the bottom. And then 1 quart. Okay. I really don't know the imperial system very well at all. Where's quarts going to go? What can I change quarts into? And I think I told you yesterday, I always write my liters L as a cursive so that you know it's not a 1. What's the conversion factor there? 1.0567 quarts is, they're almost the same. By the way, if Raj makes a mistake, you'll all yell, right? Or, sorry, if Raj makes a mistake, you'll yell at him, right? Yeah, with pleasure. What do I want to end up in? Okay, so I've got it liters. Now I'm going to do the metric trick. So again, I want to get rid of liters. What do I want on the top here? And now I find the power of 10. Milli is 10 to the... Where does the 10 to the negative 3 go? Where the milli isn't, which in this case is on the... Yep. Like I told you, this is not the easiest way, but this works for everything. Go. I'll beat you. Let's find out. 3,500, I guess, divided by 0.25, divided by 1.0567, and divided by 10 to the negative 3. I have no idea what the answer is here. Do you get 1324879.3.41? That's a lot of writing. You know what? Let's go to 3 sig figs and scientific notation, because that's less writing. If I want to write this to 3 sig figs in scientific notation, what will I write? What point what? What will I write? What point what? Marcus, loud and proud. Yep. And then times 10 to the... Times 10 to the what? 2? Look at your calculator and start counting, baby. Is it 7? Yes? I'm trusting you. I deliberately didn't look at my calculator. Raj, units. Final step, get the right units. Yeah. I hope you're seeing what I mean when I said this really cuts down on your memorization. You can use stuff that they give you and just hopscotch your way there. Again, if, Danica, you feel like, well, I know I'm going to memorize how many milliliters there are in a gallon, go ahead. Why? Don't waste your brain. I gave you the metric prefixes. Any of the other imperial ones, I'll give you that information in the question. You don't need to memorize that because we're Canadian. I really like example 12. I really like example 12. I really like example 12. Why would I say that? Did you hear me say it's going to be on the test, or you notice when a teacher tends to emphasize things? Good, 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 good. And this is metric. So I like this one way more than question number 10. Convert 6.12 kilometers per hour to millimeters per minute. Leon, any suggestions on how I might want to start out? I like that. But Lena, I'm not going to write it as a slanty fraction. I'm going to write it as a very clear, I see what's on the top and what's on the bottom. Do yourself a favor. What am I going to change kilometers to eventually? And what am I going to change hours to eventually? Pick. Which one do you want to do first? Okay, so I think that's going to take 2 steps. I think I'm going to get rid of the kilo and then bring in the milli. And I think hours to minutes, I think I can do in 1 step. Okay, I see where I'm going with this. What am I going to write? Did you say meters go on the top? If you said that, you're correct. And kilometers on the bottom. Ooh, but now I got to take care of that kilo. 10 to the... Where's the 10 to the 3 going to go? Which in this case is on the... Yes! That would be meters per hour. We want millimeters per hour. Let's keep going. I guess meters on the bottom now. What's on the top then? Millimeters. And the first M is milli, the second M is meters. And yes, we're reusing letters. Have I mentioned we don't have? Okay. Milli is 10 to the negative 3. And where's that going to go? Where the milli isn't, so right in front of the meters. Cool. That's millimeters per hour. We've got our distance units, okay? Now let's get our time units. Where is hours originally? On the, so it's going to go when I want it to cancel on the, yeah. Are you spotting the pattern? Like when you wrap your brain around it, it kind of becomes fairly meticulous and you can do this. Hours there. Oh, can I go straight from hours to minutes? I think how many minutes are in an hour? So, and I do want minutes on the bottom because that's where they are in this slanty fraction. So it's going to be 1 hour, 60 minutes, and hours cancels, hours. Yeah, millimeters per minute. Multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. I have no idea what the answer is here. Again, make sure you're following along on your calculator. It's a good way to practice with your calculator. I think that's right. Oh, works out evenly. You'll get 102,000. It's a fluke that it worked out evenly, but I'll take that. You know what? Let's write that in scientific notation to 3 sig figs. So 1.02 times 10 to the 5 millimeters per minute. That's what I'm going to assess you on. That's what you're going to see on quizzes and tests. But I had to have a little bit of fun and dream. Turn the page or next page over. Oh, sorry. No, we're going to do one more big one. And then we're going to win the lottery. I added number 13 last year. I forgot. Okay. Convert 4,356 terameters per year to kilometers per hour. Okay. And yeah, I'm just making stuff up now, Eric. It's pretty obvious. Okay. Write down what they gave. Do you want to try this one on your own? I'll do it up here silently. If you get stuck, look up. I'm going to get rid of the tera and turn it into kilometers first, and then I'm going to change the year into hours next, in case you're wondering my order. And remember, we said yesterday the abbrev for year is an A for annually, not a Y that's taken by yards. Dumb American system. Is Tera 10 to the 12th? Yes. I wonder if you were all clever enough to save yourself some work. I was. Oh, I got a typo. Have I made a mistake? Can you see it? What did I do wrong? Oh, I put the 8,760 in the wrong place? And again, common mistake. Kids are in a rush. Yeah, that 8,760, that should go there. Dan, we know that 8,760 because we actually calculated it yesterday at the beginning of the lesson, and I was hoping that people were clever enough to realize that we actually had done that and could just use that conversion factor instead of redoing the work. So you're saying instead of timesing by 8,760, Reed, you're saying I should be dividing by 8,000. Do you get that? 4972, that. Okay. When in doubt, unless the question says, give your answer to the correct number of sig figs, which this question doesn't, when in doubt, I tend to go to 3 sig figs. I figure that's accurate enough. So I'm going to write this in scientific notation as 4.97 times 10 to something. To the what? Yep. Kilometers per hour. Okay. Let's win a lottery. In 2017, Mavis Wanchik won the largest ever single lottery prize in U.S. history. She won $758.7 million. Come on, you've all thought about it. Let's spend some money. If she spends $1,000 per day, how many years will it take for her to spend the money? Here's how I'm going to handle this. They gave me 758.7 million. Million is 10 to the what? Anybody know? Okay, million is 10 to the 6th. So I'm going to write down what they gave me. They gave me 758.7. Rather than writing out all the zeros, Zach, because I'm lazy, I'm just going to say times 10 to the 6th. That's not in scientific notation. That's Mr. Dewick just being lazy and not wanting to write out a bunch of zeros. Now that's the amount of money. How much does she want to spend per day? Okay, we're going to divide this by $1,000 per day. That'll tell me how many days. So on your calculator, divide that by 1,000, please. That'll tell me how many days, and then we'll go from there. We'll change days to years. 758.7 times 10 to the 6th divided by 1,000. And I get 758,700? Yes? No? Okay, so we're going to actually start out with 758,700 days. I'm not going to give you one quite like this on your test. This is purely for nerdishness. What do I want to convert days into? Now I'm in familiar territory. Where is days going to go in my conversion factor? Where's years going to go? On the top. What's the conversion factor? 1 year is? So I guess I'm going to divide this by 365. If she spends $1,000 a day, can she spend this money in her lifetime? Not even remotely close. Let's spend faster. Let's suppose instead of $1,000 per day, she spends $500 per hour, 24/7. Okay, let's take that 758.7 million, but this time, let's see how many 500s fit into it, and that'll be the number of hours. Did I make a mistake on the previous one? Oh, I rounded off wrong. My goodness, Mr. And you know what? That's one of my pet peeves. I owe you a candy. I always tell kids we round off, we don't chop off. And I chopped off. My goodness. I should be embarrassed. I'm feeling a little sheepish. Thank you. I owe you a candy. Let's do the next one then. So it's going to be 758 0.7 times 10 to the 6th divided by 500. And I get 1517400. Nodding? Yep. 1517400. That's hours. I would like to convert that to years. Where is hours going to go? On the bottom. Ooh, can I go from hours to... Oh, it was 8,000 something, 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 wasn't it? 8,760? How many years will it take her to spend the money? Can she do that in her lifetime?
No.
Nope. It's a phenomenally large amount of money. Yeah. Sorry, louder? Yeah, 0.2. I didn't round up. I rounded off to 3 sig figs because she's dead anyways, so she's not getting the extra 0.2. Well, she's got enough money she can extend her life. Well, limits. Actually, although she won 758.7, typically when you win a large lottery prize, they give you a choice. They'll pay the money out to you over 20 years or over 25 years in installments, or they'll give you a smaller sum up front. And so she chose to take the 480.5 million, I'm going to use air quotes, smaller sum up front. Why would she take the money up front? Why wouldn't she want the payments over 25 years for the whole larger amount? Yeah, that's usually, and also people just kind of want, you know what? It's the marshmallow. Remember the marshmallow video that I showed you all? It's that. I want my marshmallow now. Okay, so she took 480.5 million. What if she spends $10 a minute? Every minute. 24/7. Okay. 480.5 times 10 to the 6th. Let's divide that by $10 per minute. That should tell me how many minutes, and then we'll convert minutes to years. And I get 4.8. You know what? I think well, it's about the same in scientific notation or longhand. 4.805 zeros. 4.805 zeros. That's how many minutes. What can I change minutes into? I want to end up in years. What can I change minutes into? Yep, hours, and then what can I change hours into? I could go days and then, but wait, I think I still got that 8,760. I'll use that as a shortcut. So minutes is going to go on the bottom. Hours on the top, 1 hour, 60 minutes. And then hours on the bottom, years on the top, 8,760 hours. Okay. So it's going to be this number, divide by 60, divide by 8,760. I used my answer button again, because why not? Callie, what'd you get? Oh, she's still working. Brea, what'd you get? Sort of doable, except how old was she when she won? 53. So still no. And this is also assuming she never eats or sleeps or anything, which wouldn't happen. It's a staggeringly large amount of money. And this is not a billionaire, by the way. There are, many billionaires out there. It's a staggeringly large amount of money that they have. Was it 91.4? Yeah.
How, like, the last one's $500 per hour, right?
Last one. Oh, the previous one. Yeah?
Yeah, and this one's 600, equal to $600 per hour, right?
But
Oh, it's
smaller amount of money. Yeah. Look at you trying to do a nice comparison. You made my little math nerd heart go pitter-pat. Very good. Turn the page. Or next page over.
Yeah, I had it right.
I'm going to talk about something called Fermi Problem because they're cool, but I'm not going to test you on them. Enrico Fermi was a scientist, very famous physicist. He worked on the Manhattan Project. What was the Manhattan Project? Yeah? The first atom bomb project during World War II. In fact, he actually started the first nuclear sustained chain reaction. But they didn't do it in a fancy lab under safety. This is true. He taught at the University of Chicago. They did it underneath Chicago Stadium in the open air. And they did it with crowbars and levers, putting uranium close. And, hey, look at that. We're getting a lot of heat. Better stop. Move the stuff apart. It was actually, in hindsight, quite terrifying. But anyways, one of the things Fermi was famous for was doing a whole bunch of estimations in his head and coming up with a ballpark figure for what the correct answer was. As an example, at the first atom bomb test, called the Trinity Test, he stood with a piece of paper and he waited for the shock wave to hit him. And when the shock wave hit him, he let go of the paper. It drifted back. He looked at how far it drifted back and he went, it's about a 25 megaton bomb. He was close. We're going to talk about Fermi problems. So put your pencils down, look up. If you're bored, for tomorrow, see if you can give me a good estimate. If Pitt Meadow Secondary School has 1,000 students, roughly, how many pieces of note paper does the entire student body use in an average year? Give me a convincing argument. And the second one, how far does an average person walk in 1 year? Give me a convincing argument. There may be candies involved if your argument is convincing, but I'm not going to collect this. What is your actual homework? So your homework today is to finish off the unit conversions sheet. I sent you an answer key on Teams, but I've also printed up an answer key. There's one sitting on every sink showing all my steps, and then I put one on that table and one over there on that table. So this is your chance to get caught up and work on that. And we are done the unit. Tomorrow you're going to get a take-home quiz. It's going to have some scientific notation, some sig figs, and some unit conversion. You're also going to get a study guide. On Monday, I'm probably also going to give you a practice test. We're probably going to start the next unit on Monday. Your test is Wednesday. And it's a quest. Half quiz, half test.